Hello everyone, my name is Cappy and today we're going to be doing a speed build for my vampire sim. So basically we're building like a spooky starter home. So it's not going to be the most beautiful and glamorous house I've ever built, but we are going to try to make it as spooky as possible and true to her vampire roots by using as much of the vampire pack as we can on a $20,000 budget. She started off with 22,000 and then 2,000 for the lot. It is in Forgotten Hollow, so she can be with all of her other vampire people. So I struggled a lot with the roof. You will see the roof go through many variations because it just wasn't coming together. It wasn't my favorite roofing I've done. I find roofing really extremely hard. I try to do as best as I can. This one was kind of tough because I wanted to have that octagonal little jut out and make it the spiral, like with the spire coming up, and it kind of made the other rest of it look a little strange. If I had more money, I would definitely pimp this place out to look more like a Victorian Gothic mansion, but we're on a starter budget, so we are just going to do what we can and build what we can. Yes, see, this roof was a hot mess for a very long time, but I was trying my best. You know, roofing is very hard in The Sims 4. I really miss the days, or in Sims 2, you could just be like, click, and then auto roof would help you do everything. I thought to make it a little more, a little nicer and make it seem less like a starter home, I'd give it a porch or a front porch, at least for right now, and then maybe do a wraparound porch later as she gets more money. As you can see, I did a lot of edits to that and ultimately just made a small front porch just to give it a little oomph and make it not look like such a starter home. And as you can see, I forget things a lot. Like, you can see that fence in the corner with the left side. Didn't change that one yet, but we will get to it. I eventually realized all of my mistakes, but when I was trying to build, I was just going boop-a-doop-a-doop, all my normal things while I was building. And I wasn't sure what kind of roof texture to go with. Like, I couldn't tell what was really like a Victorian style, so I just went for one of my favorite default roofs that I love in a really dark black color and went from there. It kind of looks like a log cabin in a way, with very weird dark black cabin in the middle of the woods, probably a place you wouldn't want to go to, but I think it has a little bit of charm, and as she grows, the house will grow too, so we can always edit it later or move it into a completely new, different house. So more filling with the roof. I think eventually I get it, and I'm like, okay, this bad boy is done. So much time, I think, in many speed builds is spent on the roof because Sims 4 roofing is not what you want. So I decided to do some Victorian columns using a lot of the vampire pack to create my builds just because she's a vampire and she deserves her vampire-ly decorations and build items. So I was really excited to use the pack because I had never done it before, and so it was a really nice, cool thing to use all the Victorian style build and buy mode options. I went with a pretty double door, and I actually love the creepy Victorian windows. They spark so much joy. I'm such a sucker for Halloween. I'm obsessed with Halloween. So I'm kind of laying out the floor plan. I made a bedroom and then a bathroom right next to it. I was trying to make a little bit of a diagonal entrance to the kitchen and trying to fiddle with that a little bit. But then I realized I should just make the kitchen and the dining room one big room for now. Maybe when she gets more money, she'll have a more formal dining room that everyone will go to. But for right now, that's what I wanted to do. So now a bunch of window placement, of course. Speed builds, I think, are a lot of fun just because you don't have to see me fiddling with everything. You can just kind of see the fast-forwarded version of everything. So I was placing windows along the house now that I had more of a layout, but it was also hard because I wanted to put more windows into the bedroom, but she's a vampire, so that kind of defeats the purpose of her bedroom. She now needs a coffin to survive until I think there's a way to make your vampire sim be able to go out in the sunlight, but I think you have to do more of the vampire tasks to do that. So maybe one day we can have a nicer open bedroom, but for right now, it's just going to be the way it is. I placed some doors. And then I always like to start in the kitchen. I know I fiddled here with a little bit of wallpaper, but then I realized, no, you have to always start in the kitchen because a kitchen is probably the most important part of the Sims house. Like, they can sleep on the ground, they can do whatever, they can pee their pants, but how are they gonna eat and survive if they don't have a kitchen? Or at least a fridge, a stove, and a countertop. That's really all they need. I went a little extra since this was the first room I was building, and so I probably didn't need all of these different counters, but I really wanted to utilize the vampire pack, and they had some really nice counters in them, so I definitely wanted to use those. And then I swapped some more things out for some cheaper stuff along the way, just because this is still a starter home, and as much as I want to have a big lavish vampire home, she can't really get that right now. She's got to wait and earn some money. So I was fiddling with the tiles. I kind of always go with these subway tiles. I just think they're so pretty. I usually use white, but the black also is really nice, and it kind of gives it a dark, spooky vibe in the kitchen. And she's a vampire. I love the green wallpaper. It really speaks to me, and so I put that as like a dining room, kitchen merger. And I used the vampire floors, just the basic ones that are like a diagonal slats. I use that throughout most of the house just to keep it consistent, and then when we get more money, kind of build upon that and use different flooring and more expensive flooring. I did use the vampire tiles. I know everybody hates them, but I kind of wanted to do it just because it's vampires and it's a vampire pack, so since it's a vampires let's play, I had to do it to them. But you know, always starter homes always have like weird tile floor anyway, so she'll upgrade and it'll be fine. Then I started fiddling with chairs and the vampire chairs. The swatches are kind of confusing. They don't look like each other. Like the table has brown and then a black center, but these were the chairs that went with it. It's kind of like, wait, why is there yellow chairs with that? And I also wanted green, but they did not have it, which is weird that they'd have a wallpaper swatches with the green, but not have anything really to match the green. So I stole the chandelier. I think a nice little vampire chandelier, and the dining room is nice. I only added 2 chairs because right now she's by herself. Maybe she'll have a date over or something, but she doesn't need a ton of chairs for right now. So then I moved on to the living room, which is what we're doing right now. I had a little bit of a coughing fit, so that was the pause you just saw. I do not have COVID. I have very bad asthma, and it is horrid, and everyone looks at you like you are a demon because of COVID and coughing. But I swear, I get tested frequently, and I just have a cough from my asthma. It's just the way my life is. I always have a cough, or especially around times of changing seasons, so nothing to worry about, no big deal. So this is the bathroom. I was debating putting a mirror in just because she's a vampire and she won't be able to see her reflection, but I wanted to add a bunch of different bathroom accessories, throw in some toilet paper, which I think is very important, a hand towel, and then some towels for when you get out of the bathroom, or get out of the shower, I should say, just to make it a little more decorative. And then I wanted to add a vampire plant. There are no vampire plants, so I went with something kind of cheaper and simpler in the bathroom. I eventually have to get rid of that to get some more skill building items, but that's later in the build. For right now, I want to focus on the bedroom. So I definitely wanted to make a coffin. Right now she can't really use a bed. She really needs a coffin to block out that sunlight because she's a vampire. I definitely alt placed it so that way it's not just a big hunk of coffin in the middle of the room that kind of looked Very strange. Hopefully she can still use it. I didn't play test it, but we will see in the next episode of the Let's Play if she can. I just wanted to see how ridiculous the purple carpet was. It was ridiculous, so I continued with the wood theme throughout the house. The vampires wardrobe was kind of expensive, so I went with a cheaper one that was from the Vintage Glamour pack. So I feel like vintage and vampires, Victorian, it's still got an older look to it, which I think kind of goes with the vampire theme. And then I kind of realized I needed more space. I wanted to have a desk and a computer because your sim basically can't function without a computer. That's literally the source of everything. And even with my mods, I have MC Command Center, so MCCC, and everything is controlled by having a computer. And if you don't have a computer to change all the controls, everything goes haywire. So that is very important to me to have. I gave her a mirror in the bedroom. It came with vampires, which seems kind of strange, but I will take it, you know? Why would they have a mirror for a vampire pack? Who's to say? But I do like how it makes the room look and brings it together as more of a bedroom than just random furniture items. So by the time we got to the living room, I was faced with a struggle because of the remaining amount of money we had. I was trying to use the vampire couch, or it's a love seat, I think, instead. Actually, I chose to try and use that, and I was going to put a TV in the room. Didn't turn out the way I wanted to. The TV really wasn't going to happen, and we did not have enough money for one. We had one for the television penguin set, but then we didn't have any money for skill building items. So I had to go back in and get a violin, and then I wanted to get a guitar as well. She's very musical, and so I wanted her to have those skill building items to make sure that she can actually gain some skills in this house. So I got rid of a lot of little dinky things and a mirror and enough money to get the guitar. Didn't have enough money for a light in that room, but that's okay. So now we're gonna go on a little tour of the house. Obviously you can see it's pretty tiny. It's super small, but it turned out pretty well, I would say, just for a starter vampire right now. And as she grows older, it'll definitely be better. I was trying to figure out first person mode, but I completely forgot how to do first person mode. I know a lot of people do like tours of the house, so here's my very crappy attempt at a tour. I tried to go in like with a first person view, but trying to do this on my laptop was not ideal. And so I just gave up and was like, here you guys go. So I hope you enjoyed this build. I am really going to be doing a lot more speed building. I'm thinking of doing a lot more in November, so a new build November. I'd like to participate in that, and I think that'd be a great way. And check out the next episode where we actually get to play with our vampire. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I'll see you guys in the next one.